All right. Welcome back, everybody. We have a uh, emergency broadcast tonight. The truth is out. We finally have all of the answers. All right. There. Helps turn on the microphone. How's everybody tonight? We have a update. The truth is out finally. We know now the whole story of what went on in 1999. And the truth has finally come out, and Chris has been telling the truth the entire time. So let's get together here and take a look at this, and we're going to talk about it.
Judge, Mr. Reader, who went back to the jail on $2,500 cash bond. Mike, I just blanked out on Mike's last name, with the sheriff's department, did go out with him.
Okay, that's going to play an important part later. If you didn't hear that, I'm going to back that up one more time. I want you to listen to what she says.
Judge, Mr. Reader, who went back to the jail on $2,500 cash bond. Mike, I just blanked out on Mike's last name, with the sheriff's department, did go out with him. He's not real smart. And I think he's nervous.
You need these back?
I did not go back and visit him yet, but I did confirm that the sheriff's department did go out. Doors were locked. They left.
And of course, I'm being.
Okay, $2,500 bond. Mike from the sheriff's department did go out with him. All right. So remember that.
Called out. You do need to get more information on the FPS situation, aka this case. You are way too biased. So how is it biased to go for the facts? Y'all, I went for the throat. Are you kidding me? I ripped this dude apart. I ripped him into shreds. I practically performed open heart surgery on my channel.
You're Christopher Ryder, and you live 35 Chester Lane, Brandenburg, and date of birth October the 2nd of 77. Charged with assault in the 4th degree.
All right. Pay attention to the date, 4/7/99. And the charges were assault in the 4th degree.
How do you wish to plead on charges?
Can I ask what will happen if I plead guilty today?
I really don't know.
Well, I'm not guilty to the charges that you see there. I'm guilty to a part of what you see, but it's
Judge, they have a domestic violence hearing next Wednesday.
on the 14th. I've signed that. I'll also put an appeal out.
Okay.
Do you see that note?
And I wanted to also say you had given me I can't. You said that I could go home and get my stuff with the sheriff. The sheriff took me over there. She's changed the locks. I don't have any clothes. I mean, I've just been trying to live it as it goes, and it's really rough right now without being able to go to my house.
I understand. And I don't know what happened, but according to her, you held a gun to her head in the argument.
That's false.
So I can see why she changed the locks.
Okay. Right there it comes up with the issue about the gun. That's been brought up several times. And totally Chris denied right there that he did not put a gun to her head. That was a complete lie. He said he was guilty of part of the stuff, but not everything she was saying. And certainly a pissed off woman would never exaggerate the events that happened. We certainly know that would never happen. Let's keep listening.
It's a false. That's false.
Okay.
It's false. I wish I had time to explain to you exactly how it goes. I mean,
We'll just enter not guilty plea. I'll set it for a pretrial conference for 1 o'clock next week, the 14th. That's the same thing. We got a domestic violence hearing anyway.
exactly. Unheard
Okay.
from me.
And you're on bond. No contact communication with her. Stay 500 feet away from her. No alcohol. No public offense.
Mhm.
And we need to also add no weapons. Okay.
No, I don't have any weapons. Sir, is there any way that someone could try to attempt to go to my house with me again so I can get some clothes anyway? Phone numbers, things like that. I don't have anything because, I mean, that's my house. You know?
Well, usually when we have a domestic violence and when the police remove them and say don't go back and they're chomping at the bit to go back, I really want to put them in the jail until the meantime because you don't have an absolute right to go back.
Yeah. I just feel like, since I
I
have
understand that, but between the bond and now and the domestic violence, you've been told no about 4 times. Now, is there any part of no we don't understand, or I need to let you have a seat over here?
I've been
You're really making me nervous that you're going to walk out of the courtroom and go back anyway.
No,
because
sir,
you,
I won't.
because you
I won't.
want to stand on your rights.
No, sir, I won't. And I was allowed to go back. It was that she had changed the locks, and at that time I couldn't get my stuff.
I don't remember allowing you to go back. I thought we told someone to go for you. If you went back, you need to have a seat. Have a seat over here. We need $2,500 cash bond. No contact. Have a seat.
All right, right there. Hey, TB, how you doing, buddy? All right, so right there, he tells him to go have a seat, $2,500 cash bond. And we remember at the early part of the video where we listened to the girl saying that Mike took him back over there. All right, now the judge says, I don't remember telling you that you could go back over there. I believe we said you could get somebody too. Well, why would Mike, the deputy, go back with him if he didn't hear the judge tell him he could have done it? Why would the deputy go over there if the judge had said, don't go over there, get somebody else to do it? So obviously the judge forgot what he had said, and now he's wanting to throw the book at him. Either way, the end results is have a seat, $2,500 bond. Your ass is going to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Because I don't think I told you you could go back. I told you to send somebody to get the clothes. You went to the door. You have a seat. We said no several times. Have a seat.
Are you fucking kidding me? No, I disagree. I respectfully disagree. I fucking performed open heart surgery when it comes to law stuff.
Yes, sir. There's a whole lot of crow getting eaten right about now. I hope they got a little bit of salt and pepper to go with it.
I didn't have all the evidence. Okay, but I have the court records on the internet. You want to tell me those are wrong? That's fine. That's fine. I want to see what we have. You know what I mean? So the truth always comes to light. I'm not worried about that.
There have been a ton of people who have been asking me about my 1999 Meade County misdemeanor case. And due to a retaliating Meade County government and their officials who are acting extremely childish and cherry-picking certain records and then trying to have people publish them all over the internet in a fashion in which they're trying to make me look bad.
Do you recall that from that case?
From the case? Yes. So when I left court, I agreed to have no contact with her.
Okay. But you do not believe you came back to court on a couple weeks later or 9 days later?
Sir, I was already in the jail and came out from the jail to that court date.
But I did not bond. I didn't even have the money to bond, nor did I even try to get out of that jail. I did not try to get out of that jail. I served the little bit of time that was there. I wanted to show that in the courtroom at the time, back in 99, in the Meade County case, that on the final hearing, I'm in an orange jumpsuit and chains. And there it is, folks. That's the statement that the haters want to crucify me over. I, at that point, had not seen the video. I only knew that I had spent the entire time in the jail. So therefore, I assumed, and I made it clear in that video, although the trolls don't want to show you that part, that all I was saying was, using a figure of speech, I assumed I would be in an orange jumpsuit and chains because I knew that I had spent the entire time in the jail. So I didn't bond out.
Oh, okay, all right. Is that what the video shows?
We're waiting on the video to come back.
I'm sorry, Judge, I took this.
That is what the video will show.
Right there. That last line is why I wanted to wait.
But in fact, Dummy Kruger did not wait. The only thing he waited for was his friend, Michael Kiser, to get that video and cherry pick certain portions of it and publish it on his channel because he is cooperating his channel with a Meade County public official who is out to destroy me.
Quote, that is what the video will show, unquote, referring to him being brought into the courthouse in an orange jumpsuit and chains.
To make matters even worse, Dummy Kruger already had the court video, so therefore he could have shown you this, which is me wearing the exact same outfit on both 4/7 and 4/14, which could indicate that upon knowing that they were going to release me, that they gave me my clothes back to wear to court that day.
He never left after he was arrested and that he didn't post any bond. Therefore, the document with his signature is clearly fake. So what do you guys think the video shows? Well, let's take a look.
Let's back up just a little bit here.
Dummy Kruger did not wait. The only thing he waited for was his friend, Michael Kiser, to get that video and cherry pick certain portions of it and publish it on his channel because he is cooperating his channel with a Meade County public official who is out to destroy me.
Quote,
I didn't go back far enough. I want to see that picture.
I have no contact with her.
Okay. But you do not believe you came back to court on a couple weeks later or 9 days later?
Sir, I was already in the jail and came out from the jail to that court date.
But I did not bond. I didn't even have the money to bond, nor did I even try to get out of that jail. I did not try to get out of that jail. I served the little bit of time that was there. I wanted to show that in the courtroom at the time, back in 99, in the Meade County case, that on the final hearing, I'm in an orange jumpsuit and chains. And there it is, folks. That's the statement that the haters want to crucify me over. I, at that point, had not seen the video. I only knew that I had spent the entire time in the jail. So therefore, I assumed, and I made it clear in that video, although the trolls don't want to show you that part, that all I was saying was, using a figure of speech, I assumed I would be in an orange jumpsuit and chains because I knew that I had spent the entire time in the jail. So I didn't bond out.
Oh, okay, all right. Is that what the video shows?
We're waiting on the video to come back.
I'm sorry, Judge, I took this.
That is what the video will show.
Right there. That last line is why I wanted to wait.
But in fact, Dummy Kruger did not wait. The only thing he waited for was his friend, Michael Kiser, to get that video and cherry pick certain portions of it and publish it on his channel, because he is cooperating his channel with a Meade County public official who is out to destroy me.
Quote, that is what the video will show, unquote, referring to him being brought into the courthouse in an orange jumpsuit and chains.
To make matters even worse, Dummy Kruger already had the court videos, so therefore he could have shown you this.
All right. Look at the dates. 4/7/99, 4/14/99. And as he shows, he's in the exact same clothes. Now, he, like he said, he's got crucified over the whole orange jumpsuit and chain deal. Well, I mean, he was just making an assumption. He knew that he had been in jail. He knew that he came from jail to court. So he assumed that he was in an orange jumpsuit. And we all know what happens when you assume. Well, everybody took that and run with it. You know, just like they've cherry picked this video apart, they've cherry picked his words apart. Every time he says anything, they take out the key little things that they want to pick on, and then they run with it. But we see here that on 4/7, the judge said, $2,500 bond, sit your ass over there. Went to jail. He was there for 7 days. Come back to court on the domestic violence charge. That's the key. He's going back on the original domestic violence charge. Nothing else to do with EPOs or any of that. It's simply coming back on the original charge for the domestic violence. So he spent from the 7th to the 14th, 7 days in jail. And like I said, he took it for granted that he probably was going to be in an orange jumpsuit. Hey, it was 25 years ago. You know, hell, I have trouble remembering what I did 25 days ago. But he's wearing the exact same clothes. And another thing, pay attention to this gentleman right here, this lawyer. Take a good look at his face and remember it. It's going to come back up a little later too. But for sure, he spent 7 days in jail. Now, Chris said that when he was talking with DUI Guy, you know, he said that to him it seemed like 30 days, but maybe, you know, it could have been, you know, less. It could have been 10 or something, you know. But he knew that he spent more than 1 day. But let's play forward.
Which is me wearing the exact same outfit on both 4/7 and 4/14, which could indicate that upon knowing that they were going to release me, that they gave me my clothes back to wear to court that day.
He never left after he was arrested, and that he didn't post any bond. Therefore, the document with his signature is clearly fake. So what do you guys think the video shows? Well, let's take a look.
Georgette, Christopher Ryder.
So that's Chris walking in right here, but something sure seems off already.
I wanted to show that in the courtroom at the time, back in 99, in the Meade County case, that on the final hearing, I'm in an orange jumpsuit and chains. So I didn't bond out.
Oof, already caught lying in the first 15 seconds of the video. Let's keep going.
And what we're doing on the criminal charge.
He's going to go ahead and get a plea on. The Commonwealth's going to recommend.
You raise your right hand, Mr. Ryder. Do you swear the statement you make to be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Do you understand you've got a right to a jury trial, got a right to confront witnesses against you, such as the police officer and the state here when you plead guilty, give up those rights?
I do.
Do you understand you got a right not to testify against yourself when you plead guilty, give up that right? You admit you're under oath guilty of assault on the 4th degree.
I do.
Are you eligible for alcohol or any kind of medicine or any other substance here today to keep you from understanding what you're doing? Have you ever been treated for mental illness?
No, I haven't.
Are you entering this guilty plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
Are you satisfied Mr. Scott's services on your behalf on the assault charge? Did you discuss the plea with him?
Oh, yes.
And you satisfied his services as your lawyer on this assault charge? And the court accept your guilty plea and the recommendation.
6 months, Your Honor. We're going to give him credit for time served, the rest to be probated, and the conditions to be abide by the terms of the domestic
How
violence.
many days did you get?
We got one.
You'll be sentenced to 6 months in jail, probated after the 1 day you served. The rest of the time probated for 2 years. No other public offense, no contact with Ms. Carson.
And there's oof number 2.
That's right, Kruger. That's oof number 2 for you, because you failed to recognize that there were 2 cases in that same situation, and in that the domestic hearing is where the time served came from, because the judge alleged that it was a violation of the protective order case. Completely different case in which I was found not guilty of in the end.
Even though all of the paperwork from this case was showing that he was arrested on April 4th, released on April 5th, and returned 9 days later on the 14th to plead guilty, Chris has been saying this whole time he never left and that the paperwork was clearly fraudulent. This was the conspiracy.
I didn't leave the jail until the whole case was concluded. And now the creator of that channel, along with his buddy Michael Kiser, they are inciting their audience to call our judge in our current case in Hardin County, Kentucky, to allege that I committed a perjury on the stand.
He only spent 1 day in jail, which is not what he said on the
Okay. Sorry. Good. Appreciate that, TB. Forgot to unmute my mic. TB says, sure to take note of the part where Chris says, I have no guns. This was said to the judge. And that's right. When he was given the stipulations, no getting in trouble, no drinking, no drugs, don't go back around her, and no weapons, Chris says, I don't have any. And if you've never had, you look back to the old saying, there's nothing worse than a woman scorned. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I can tell you of a personal incident that's real damn similar. I came home, caught my girlfriend with another guy. Fight breaks out. I've got him on the floor, choking him and beating the shit out of him. She runs outside, calls the cops. The cops get there. She tells them that I've got a gun. They rush in the house with guns drawn, uh, put me on the floor, handcuff me, ask me where the gun's at. I said, "What gun? I ain't got any." He said, She said you got a gun." I said, "The only gun I got's upstairs under the mattress. If you want me to go get the damn thing." You know, so this whole gun to her head story, I don't buy that. That to me, I'll guarantee you, that was just her trying to make it look worse on him because she knows the relationship's over with. That so now she's going to try and dig him into as deep of a hole as she can, cause hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So let's get back and hear a little more of this.
The stand years later.
But you do not believe you came back to court on a couple of weeks later or 9 days later?
Sir, I was already in the jail and came out from the jail to that court date.
I was not in jail for 1 day. I was in jail for a lot of days. But on the Meade County Court document record, although it shows the full time for the case, for some reason somebody put on there, right on the front, that I only served 1 day in jail.
Of course, after guilty plea, you had the right for 6 months, Your Honor. If you're going to give him credit for time served, the rest to be probated, and conditions to be abide by the terms of the domestic violence. How many days did you get? You got 1.
So Chris did post this $1,000 bail. Therefore, Chris did sign this document. And since this document matches the 98 document per Chris, it was Chris that was caught with the possession in 1998. It's over. Full stop.
And let's see, you were released from jail on $1,000 cash bond, is that right?
That is incorrect. That is not correct.
Okay.
Right.
Because it's on a bond sheet. So the one thing that's in that record says that there was a bond paid of $1,000. Guys, I didn't pay a bond in that case. And just to be very clear, I have never said that it wasn't possible that someone paid that bond. What I have said all along is that I do not recall paying that bond. And yes, that signature does look a lot like the signature that the courts in Hardin County are using. But what I have been saying is that it does not match my signature.
So that was
All right. Now, hey, Freddie, what's going on, buddy? Freddie says, "Hello, Tyrus Beware. I just happened to see this video. Is it playing again? You know me, I get so confused about what is going on." Well, Freddie, we're going to get it all cleared up right here. So, and TV says, "Why do you think the charges were dropped?" That was a hint. Exactly. The domestic got dropped. But now the 1 day issue. All right. They picked him up on the 4th. He spent the night in jail, got bonded out on the 5th, and went back to court on the 7th. So there is your 1 day from the 4th to the 5th. But the 7th to the 14th, was not included because that was a completely different case. The 7th to the 14th was because he went back to try and get his stuff. And when he said he went back to get his stuff, the judge said, set your ass over there, $2,500 cash bond. You don't see no damn bond sheet for $2,500. Only one we've seen is the 1,000. So let's keep going.
Was the end of the hearing, but we have even more proof that Chris did bond out and that he did sign this document because the $100 in court costs that he accrued was taken out of this $1,000 bond. The irony is just too sweet here, guys. This couple has been going around Indiana and Kentucky demanding public records for over a year now.
And in almost every one of those situations, the records are in our own cases. Of course, we're going to demand the records. They're ours.
Sometimes on the spot. These occurrences often resulted in major confrontations with court staff, DCS staff, you name it. So after all of that, all of the fights, all of the conspiracies, all of the call flood requests, it was public records that officially fucked him in the end.
Hey, phrase it! Yet this person has never made not one single records request on any of my cases.
My bad. So, after all of that, you would think that would be all I have. But I actually saved the biggest lie for last. Who's ready for it? Roll the clip.
So you acknowledge the case, the charge, but you deny signing paperwork to get out of jail.
Well, I didn't get out of jail, not until after the final hearing. I didn't bond.
Oh, okay, all right. Is that what the video shows?
We're waiting on the video to come back.
I'm sorry, Judge, I took this.
That is what the video will show.
And at this point, that video did come back finally, and it does show that I had been in the jail the whole time.
Sir, is there any way that someone could try to attempt to go to my house with me again so I can get some clothes anyway? Phone numbers, things like that. I don't have anything because, I mean, that's my house.
Well, usually when we have a domestic violence and the police remove them and say don't go back and they're chomping at the bit to go back, I will really want to put them in the jail until the meantime because you don't have an absolute right to go back.
Yeah. I just feel like, since
I understand that. But between the bond and now and the domestic violence, you've been told no about 4 times. Now, is there any part of no we don't understand, or I need to let you have a seat over here? You're really making me nervous that you're going to walk out of the courtroom and go back anyway.
No,
because
sir,
because you want to stand on your rights.
No, sir, I won't. And I was allowed to go back. It was that she had changed the locks, and at that time I couldn't get my stuff.
I don't remember allowing you to go back. I thought we told someone to go for you. If you went back, you need to have a seat. Have a seat over here. We need $2,500 cash bond. No contact. Have a seat. Because I don't think I told you could go back. I told you to send somebody to get the clothes. You went to the door. You have a seat.
Oof! It would appear by the court record that I was put into the jail for the huge crime of the judge forgetting whether or not he said it would be okay for me to go to my house to get clothes with a deputy.
I don't remember allowing you to go back. I thought we told someone to go for you. If you went back, you need to have a seat. Have a seat over here. We need $2,500 cash bond. No contact. Have a seat.
That's right. In the middle of Chris's.
But we know, as we looked in the very beginning, Mike, the deputy sheriff, as she told the judge, Mike went back with him. And like I said before, why would Mike go back with him if he didn't know that the judge had said to go, that he could go do it? So, look, it definitely looks to me like a case of a forgetful judge. But let's continue forward because we ain't done there.
Video showing this revocation hearing, he cut in to tell his audience that he did in fact get this video here, saying that it indeed showed him not leaving jail. This is what I was waiting on. I was waiting on Chris to actually prove his conspiracy, but alas, he never released it. We now know why. So the judge is still considering the facts of the case and has yet to make a ruling. He did say something to the effect of, is the juice worth the squeeze? Meaning, is it worth throwing him in jail for 30 days after all of this? Which, quite frankly, I get. It's such an old case with a rather minor original offense. If the judge finds him guilty or not really wasn't the point in me making this video, however. It was to show the lengths this couple went to deceive their audience. After spending a week producing this video and combing through hours of his lies,
And if someone actually spent an entire week combing through that court video, ask yourself this: why in the hell wouldn't he have shown the parts of the video that would prove that I was put back into the jail on a different bond?
these two always play up the victim card in every single one of their videos. They always portrayed themselves as victims of a tyrannical government. Furthermore, this arrest, along with the hours of content it generated for their monetized YouTube channel, significantly boosted their viewership. At the time of the arrest last year, they were averaging about 100 live viewers per stream. By the time of his hearing in November, they were regularly bringing in over 1,000 viewers, a huge tenfold increase.
I don't know, but it sure sounds like Dummy Kruger's purpose of doing this video was out of jealousy over my YouTube channel.
Yeah, let's take a look at something else here just a minute. I want to switch this screen out, and let's kind of evaluate this whole Dummy Kruger. I don't know if you're familiar with the term Dummy Kruger, but it actually refers to something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect occurs when people wrongly overestimate their knowledge or ability in a specific area. This bias arises due to a lack of self-awareness, preventing individuals from accurately assessing their own skills. In essence, those who lack competence often believe they are more capable than they truly are. The phenomenon was first described in 1999. Paper by psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger from the Cornell University. They conducted tests on logic, grammar, and humor, finding that most in the bottom quartile rated their skills far above average. For instance, participants in the 12th percentile self-rated their expertise as if they were in the 62nd percentile. The root lies in metacognition, the ability to objectively analyze one's own thoughts or performance. Essentially, those with limited knowledge suffer a dual burden. Not only do they make mistakes, but their incompetence prevents them from realizing this. So, that kind of describes Mr. Kruger pretty damn well, if you ask me. Now, he has more than once said that his name comes from the Dunning-Kruger effect. He just wonders how many people could realize it and do realize it. Now, he plays on it with the dummy, which is very fitting, because it looks to me like all he did was exactly what he's accused Chris of, was he wrote his own narrative to get more clicks and views. And he has gotten a ton of views from this whole video that he's put out, because everybody jumped on it and watched it. You know, I'm not sure of the number. We could go take a look real quick and see exactly how many views he has got on that. Let me pull it up here. Let's see. All right. Otter exposed for lying under oath to his audience. He has gotten 38,000 views. And if you look down here also, you'll see the Dunning-Kruger effect. So you can confirm that what I was saying earlier is what his name is based on. But 38,000 views is what he's gotten on that video. So looks to me like Mr. Kruger was looking to do the exact same thing. All right, let's get back to the video here.
Saying all of that, could it just boil down to the obvious, Bunny?
Or maybe he was part of a conspiratorial plan along with JJ and Kiser to try to defund us.
This arrest was the catalyst that kicked off not one, not two, not three, but 4 different GoFundMe campaigns with donations totaling almost $15,000, all predicated on a lie.
A lot of people have been publishing just portions of video whenever there's more. And what we have here might just very well explain entirely the discrepancy about the bond, if a bond was ever paid, or how much time I actually spent in the jail. I'm not alleging that this is all of the records, because I know for a fact that the Meade County, Kentucky clerks are refusing to provide full, factual, non-edited versions of this video.
And if you were fooled by the cherry-picked records discrepancy that's been going on around the internet, don't feel bad, because even a very well-known YouTube lawyer known as the DUI Guy apparently fell for it too. Watch this.
Cash for $1,000. You posted $1,000 bond. It was set on April 5th. After you get arrested over this, right?
Yeah, I got arrested over that one. Right.
Okay, so you got arrested. The incident happened on April the 4th. Bond is set the next day on April the 5th, and then you post it. You post the bond April 5th, 1999. Cash for $1,000. Does that sound right?
Not to me. So of course, I'm trying to remember back 25 years ago, but to my knowledge, I do not remember any bond at all, paying any sort of bond. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't
maybe somebody
offer.
else posted it for you. Is it possible? Again,
Well,
I
I don't
redacted,
know.
so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's possible that someone posted a bond, but here's the thing, Larry. I didn't get out of their jail. I served jail time on that incident, and there was only one incident that occurred in Meade County in 1999, and I served the jail time all the way through until the hearing was over. The final
How long
hearing.
was that?
I don't remember. I remember it being long enough to draw several drawings, which I'm not a great artist. So I had actually accomplished making several drawings. I had visitors that came to the jail. In my mind, I think it was like 30 days, but I can't get records to find out what it truly was. And now I don't even trust the records that are there anymore, because
So if I were to tell you that you served, if you did serve, assuming that this is incorrect and the bond was not set and posted on the same day as this record on our viewer's screen shows, if I were to tell you that you served no more than 9 days, would you say that is inaccurate?
Well, I got a little short story for you. When I was
I'm listening.
like 9 or 10 years old, I was riding a dirt bike that didn't have an engine. And it was down this really huge hill that ended in a 90-degree turn. And then it had this big steep embankment that went on and on like a cliff forever. And I really remember it well, riding down this really super long steep hill and then crashing at the bottom and falling down this big cliff. And now that I'm a grown up and I've seen where I had the accident, it's a very short hill, and the cliff is not all that big. It's just like a small ravine. But I broke my collarbones in that, and in my mind, I thought it was way bigger in my memory. So
No, that's fair. I'm not trying to ding you on your
no, I
memory,
know.
dude.
I'm answering
I'm
your
simply
question.
asking, like, because again, look, I am a complete outsider coming into all this. You know, Craig Hendry told me, help my buddy. I have you on my channel because I want to know what happened. I just want the
Yeah.
truth. That's all I'm looking for. So
Right.
if you don't remember, just say you don't remember. It
Well,
was so
no.
fucking long. Larry, it was 25 years ago. How the fuck am I supposed to know? That is a legitimate answer in my book. I will never, ever hate on an officer who says, Mr. Foreman, I'm sorry, I don't remember. You know,
Yeah.
even if I think he's lying, and if I know he's lying,
Well,
you
I want
know,
to answer to the
I'm
best of my
still gonna
ability.
be like, officer, if you don't remember, tell me you don't remember. You know,
Yeah.
so okay, so you don't remember.
All right. Now, I can give you another personal reference of almost exactly again that a lot of this is kind of hitting home. You know, Chris is telling his story about going down this hill, and you know, he asked him, did 9 days seem correct? All right. In 2011, I had a motorcycle wreck where I flipped the bike end over end, and it throwed me over the handlebars, and I rolled down the road. And I I have told the story many times that in my mind it felt like I was rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And I can even remember praying and saying, God, please let me just stop rolling and I'll be okay. Well, after I got out of the hospital, I went back to the scene of the wreck. And where I had landed at was where a tractor road went back into uh, a field. So it was only about 15 foot wide. So there was really no physical way that I could have rolled more than twice. But uh, in my mind, it felt like I rolled and rolled and rolled forever. Uh, TV says in 2011 was the year that I wrecked my Kawasaki Ninja 1500. Yeah, 2011 was a bad year, brother, for us both. But your mind can play tricks on you, and when you're looking back 25 years, you know, it's hard to remember like I said, hell, I have trouble remembering what I did 25 days ago. But, you know, the record here shows that on the 5th or on the 4th, he went in. On the 5th, he got out. All right. So he did 1 day on the initial arrest. Okay. And then he went back to an arraignment on the 7th. So let's get back and play some more of this.
Remember, and if according to the records, okay, I'm just going off of what I have. You're saying this is you. So this one with the date of birth, Christopher Ryder. You're not sure about the bond, even though it says cash $1,000 posted, set on April 5th, posted on April 5th. You're not sure about that. Maybe somebody else. Maybe we don't know. But this is you. You're supposed to keep 500 feet away from George Jed, who at the time you were in some sort of relationship with. According to the records, April 5th, 1999 was when you were arraigned. Then they moved it a couple days, probably because you were released. This is very common. Again, I'm a practicing attorney. This is Kentucky. So for me, this is very, very easy in the sense of I have personal experience with exactly that. You know, client gets out of jail, then they don't have a court date, immediately then and there. They will push it back for a couple days. So the arraignment in this case was originally scheduled for April 5th, 1999. And then it was rescheduled for April 7th, 1999. So it's still the arraignment. Whether it happened or not, we don't know. But what we do know is that you were definitely arraigned on that date, because the next date is next week at 1 o'clock with Judge Time Lively. And that's a pretrial conference, at which point you pled guilty and you received a suspended sentence. You got credit. And this is what I find the most interesting. You're saying you served 30 days. You were sentenced to, sorry?
No, that's what I said. Between the 9 and 30, maybe I'm not remembering the amount of time that I was in there. In my memory, I felt like it was around a month, but in reality, it could have just been 9 or 10 days. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, so, and again, the court record here shows observed, assault, fourth degree, minor injury. We're not here to talk about that. It's just a case, whatever. It's old, 25 years ago. Guilty disposition. So you pled guilty, correct?
That is correct.
On April 14th, 1999. Does that ring any bells at all?
That sounds exactly when the time frame and everything is correct.
Okay. Sentenced the same day. The cost amount, $105 to the court. And then here comes the jail portion. Jail, 6 months. Again, 5 months and 29 days suspended. Supervised probation. We've seen that before. 2 years. Credit, and this is what I'm very confused about. Credit for time served 1 day. They're saying you served 1 day in jail, not more.
And that is not true.
Okay, and why is that not true?
Well, because I know I served more than 1 day. I may not remember if it was 30 or 10, but I definitely would have known if it was only 1 day. There's no way that's true. I couldn't even draw that many drawings in 1 day.
Okay. It's obvious that it all ran together. He doesn't remember the fact that he went in on the 4th, got out on the 5th, then 2 days later went back in for 7 more days. It all's running together in his mind. But he went in on the 4th, got out on the 5th, and now that they have, he pled guilty, and a suspended sentence, $105 fine, and credit for the 1 day. Now, the other charge, the $2,500 charge, where he spent 7 days for and was charged a $2,500 bond, they discharged. That's why there's not anything on here about it. So, he served that time, them 7 days, and the judge let it go, because now he's already sentenced him on this part. He's issued him a new protective order of no contact, stay 500 feet away from Georgette. All right. Now, so all this time that he's been screaming and yelling that I was in jail the whole time, and everyone kept calling him a liar and accused him of lying on the stand and perjuring himself on the stand. Well, I hope they enjoy eating that crow, because here the truth will set you free. And it has. We know now for certain that he has been telling the truth the whole time. And Dummy Kruger was a dummy for taking Kiser's narrative of the whole thing and spending or wasting a whole week of his time putting together this video when it was the truth was coming out the entire time. So, but let's go on and hear the rest of what Chris has got to say.
I don't know. I've seen your drawing.
She's picking on me for my bad drawing. But no, I remember where I was in the jail cell. I remember how many nights. I remember playing cards.
So hold on. So in court, when you appeared in court, you were in shackles and in an orange jumpsuit on April 14th, 19.
Made the mistake of assuming that if there was a video that I would be in a jumpsuit and shackles. So a lot of people are holding that against me because I said that out loud on my channel. However, my what I meant to relay whenever I said that was, I know for sure that on the final day of court, I came from the jail. And later, the video finally, it's an old VHS video. We finally got that released from the clerk's office at Meade County. And in it, I'm wearing the same exact clothes as the day I was arrested. So now I kind of feel like, you know, a lot of people are holding it against me because of my choice of words, saying, you know, I guarantee you're going to see me in orange jumpsuit and shackles. I probably shouldn't
So
use
this
that.
basically what you're saying is this is incorrect. The court record is wrong. Credit for time served 1 day is incorrect. It should say somewhere between 9 and 30 days, right?
That is correct. Yes, what you just said.
Got you. And then no PO, I forgot what that means. This is old language. Like we don't use a lot of this language anymore. No contact, probably stay 500 feet away from
no contact.
So no what?
No protective order, no contact.
Protective order. Yeah, they don't use this acronym anymore because now we have IPOs and DVOs, and protective orders are renamed interpersonal protective orders and domestic violence orders. So good catch. That's good for you. Are you an attorney, Tiffany?
No, I wish I was.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to the main event. So you are, based on this stuff, somehow you get arrested and sent to Hardin County Jail on January 2nd, 2023.
For one night, correct, over a warrant.
Okay. So this is the video everyone is talking about, by the way. Let me share screen with the chat. So this is the video that you talked about that is not let me see if I can pull it to the right place.
The video of my arrest in Hardin County is on my channel, available if you want to use that. It's Meade County I'm having a problem with, not Hardin.
And the reason I tried to stop this practicing attorney from going any further at this point was because I knew that he was getting ready to jump into something that he did not have all of the facts on. And in our agreement to have a panel in the first place, we agreed that we would not speak of any open litigation. And these cases, in fact, are involved in the open litigation in my current cases. And the discussions that we did agree to talk about, he veered away from immediately after starting the panel.
Right. No. I know. This is the April 14th, 1999.
And just to be clear, folks, this is not the Hardin County alleged marijuana case.
All right. But that's what everybody's tried to spin this as. They've tried to spin this as the marijuana case, you know, when there was actually really only one case with two let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? Two effects involved in two actions involved with it. The case was over the domestic abuse. On the 4th and the 5th, he got out. On the 7th, they arraigned him. They had told him that he could go back and get his clothes with a police officer. But on the 14th, the judge claims that he didn't remember that. And when Chris said that he went back with a police officer, with Mike, the officer that we heard in the beginning, when he went back, that the door was locked. He didn't go in. He never made contact. But the judge said, that's it. Set your ass over there in the corner. $2,500 bond. And he went to jail for 7 days. On the 14th was the date that they were going to already have the trial for the domestic charges stemming back, stemming back to the 4th and 5th, or 4th and 5th, the one day. But everybody tried to spin this narrative to say that this was the joint deal, the whole marijuana charge. All right, let's get going.
Georgette, Christopher Ryder.
So that's Chris walking in right here, but something sure seems off already.
This is what you're talking about.
I
That
wanted
people
to
are.
show that in the courtroom at the time, back in '99, in the Meade County case, that on the final hearing, I'm in an orange jumpsuit and chains, so I didn't bond out.
Oof.
Yeah,
Already.
I know.
Right.
Like I said, I addressed that already, you know, and we're still in litigation. So if you look at the clothing that I'm wearing, one thing that does make sense to me is it's the same exact clothes as the first video. That is the day that I was very first arrested. So the very first time I saw the judge. Another problem. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Another problem. What? Go ahead.
Well, another problem is that I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But the other problem is that when the clerk did release these records, she said there were 3 videos, not 2, and only 2 have been released. So I really need to know what's on that 3rd video. That's a big problem I've been having with Meade is that they seem to be
Which video?
Would have been all 3 of my court hearings in Meade County. There's 3. According to the clerk and everybody, there's supposed to be 3. And she said she only had 2 of them available. So only 2 of the videos.
From what date is the 3rd video is what I'm asking.
I don't know.
You don't know what date the 3rd video is from?
Nope, she didn't tell me, but it's somewhere between.
No, but you're the one requesting it. So what did you request that she said we don't have it?
I requested all videos of the case and every record that existed on that case, period. All video, all anything from the jail. I requested any type of security camera footage they may have had. I requested their sign-in visitor lists, anything that involved me. I requested phone call recordings that may have been involving me. Everything. I requested every single bit of record that they could possibly come up with, which might have been why it was taking her longer than a couple of weeks to get it going.
Okay, so let's watch. Okay.
What we're doing on the criminal charge. He's going to go ahead and give a plea on Commonwealth's going to recommend.
Oh, goofy looking.
Raise your right hand, Mr. Ryder. Do you swear the statement you make to be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Do you understand you've got a right to a jury trial, got a right to confront witnesses?
And just real quick, this is you, yes?
Yes, that's me. Right.
Okay.
That's not my video, but
no, this is the courtroom video. But I'm asking if this is your lawyer standing next to you.
I don't remember a lawyer. I don't remember that. I can't verify what it is, but it looks like that's me. I was the goofy looking, tall, skinny kid. Yeah.
Do you think it may have been a prosecutor, maybe?
Oh, I would say that would have been. Oh, I don't. You talk about the lawyer? I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, but that's not an imposter. That's you.
That's me in the gray.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Now, you heard Larry ask him, was that an imposter? Is that the imposter? So he's got this confused now with the marijuana case. And this is where Larry got all twisted up.
Right. Do you swear the statement you make to be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Do you understand you've got a right to a jury trial, got a right to confront witnesses against you, such as the police officer must stay here when you plead guilty, give up those rights? You said you got a right not to testify against yourself when you plead guilty, give up that right. You admit you're under oath guilty of assault on the 4th degree. Are you under by alcohol or any kind of medicine or any other substance here today that give you understanding what you're doing? Have you ever been treated for mental illness? No. Are you in this guilty plea freely and voluntarily? say. He satisfied Mr. Scott's services on your behalf on the assault charge.
Oh, okay. So the judge just asked, "Are you satisfied with Mr. Scott's services on your behalf?" So the judge is saying it is your lawyer. Is that incorrect?
I don't remember, Larry. It's been so long. I don't remember the lawyer.
If you don't remember, that's fine. Okay, let's keep watching.
Did you discuss the plea with him? Oh, listen. You satisfied his services as your lawyer on this assault charge. Court accept your guilty plea and the recommendation 6 months, Your Honor. You're going to give him credit time, sir. The rest to be probated. And the conditions to be applied by the terms of the domestic violence. How many days did you get? You got 1.
Okay, so judge is asking how many days did you get? Your answer is 1, and the attorney says he got 1. You're saying this is not correct.
I'm saying that there was minimum 8 to 30 days that I spent in Meade County Jail back then. That's what I'm saying. So there's another video in court. And so you're watching a video that was created by a guy named Dummy Kruger. And what you're watching is some evidence that has been released to the public, not to me, it was to me too, but to the public separately from me, which is I'm fine with. But there are supposed to be 3 videos, 3 court hearings, not just 2. And since I only received 2, and Meade County clerks are telling me that there are only 2 videos available, I chose to wait before I was going to publish this stuff until the 3rd video was available, because I want the answers just the same as everybody else. So, but what I am saying is this case happened, the one in 1999 in Meade County. I'm not proud of it. I've admitted it my whole life long, but this case happened. And I'm telling you that I spent several days or a significant amount of time in the jail over this misdemeanor case in 1999. Now, I don't remember the court process. I don't remember the process that happened, but I have a clip that has not been published on anybody else's channel yet, which I would assume, since I've got that clip, that other people probably have that clip too. Now, remember, I'm still waiting on
what's in that clip? Wait, hold on, pause. What's in that clip that
in
you
that
have?
clip, it sounds to well, not only is there a discussion going on behind doors at the courthouse in one of the hearings, they're talking about their electricity went out, and they're whispering under their breath. There sounds like maybe people that is court staff is like talking about some kind of subject. It had to have been about me because I wouldn't have got it in my record request. But I can't make out. I can't distinguish
Wait, hold on.
what they're saying.
Electricity went out. So who's recording? Is it recorded on a private recording device? Is it recorded through the courtroom audio system? How is it being recorded?
Yes,
the court system. So how was the court system audio equipment working and behind closed doors and with electricity out? I'm confused.
They were talking about the electricity had previously gone out in the recording. I'm telling you what's on the tape. On the tape, there's some women sitting in behind some type of closed door. It's obviously courtroom type of room. So it might not be the actual courtroom, but it's like maybe one of the, I don't know what's behind those doors, but it's like one of those rooms where they have meetings and stuff. It looked like a conference room, and it has to be about me. Like the discussion.
Wait, hold on. How did you get a recording of that? Those are not recorded. There are no cameras in those. I've been to like 80 counties out of the 120 that we have here in Kentucky. I've never in my life seen a camera. And even if there are, sometimes they hold court in those conference rooms. Yes, but if there's nobody attending to them, if the court hearing is being held in open court, how did they have a camera in there? They don't have cameras in the conference rooms.
They don't have cameras in the conference rooms.
I remember briefly now as a kid, the conversation was with his stepmom or something.
All right. Now, if you look at this guy sitting here at the table, I told you earlier, looking at that attorney, if I'm not mistaken, that is the same guy that was standing up beside of Chris. And now Mr. Foreman, Mr. DUI guy, it's time for him to get out his salt and pepper and get him a big bite of crow. Uh, because all the rooms he's been in, all in the state of Kentucky, I guess he must have missed this one because here we go with the camera. And if you listen, you'll hear them talking about the power going off.
The child was allowed to know the biological mom. Remember that briefly?
I don't. But
Briefly.
okay.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Let's briefly.
So we don't have any.
Still don't have it. When was that?
And you're using the one over, and you're using the one that sits on the little desk, right?
Something over
One over
recent.
by the monitor. You're right, that's the one I thought. Look at this picture. This won't record. Everything's down. Our computers are down. The lights are out in the hallway. They say we're on a generator. Have y'all heard that? Do you know what's going on out there?
No idea.
No, it won't work. It says we're not even hooked into a server now. They got all of our sustained stuff, the main server in Frankfurt, so. So it won't record. No. Too long, you turn it off.
Something else I noticed, if you look right outside the door, set of steps going up onto a raised up platform of some kind. I'm going to assume that that's going up to the judge's platform. So this room would be just right outside of the courtroom itself. And as Chris said earlier, if this didn't pertain to him, then he wouldn't have gotten it when he requested all the footage of his case. But that definitely looks like a raised up platform. There's a wall of some kind right on the other side of it. I really believe that that's stepping up right up into the judge's desk.
Well, what do we do now?
I don't think they took all that into account. They put these things in here.
Joe says that on the answer statement, the mother's living in both houses, that she probably won't even be here.
That's his, what is that,
That's that lady.
his niece? Lily, the mother's, isn't that Joe's niece, or, yeah.
So great news, great news. Baby needs to stay with Uncle.
Right.
Uncle Robbie.
Most definitely.
But I saw it reviewed, I'm like, so I went left the notes, the Lord said it's supposed to be reviewed.
Your girl's balling.
I know it, what's she about? She's afraid you're gonna do something, but look, that's what you gonna do, look, this.
I'm not gonna do anything with Lucas except chew his little butt out.
That's the husband.
I know.
There's not a whole lot
She's
of
been
can do
trying
with
to-
it. I mean, I can stick him in detention, but then, what's the point? What is really the point?
And I am cutting a portion of this clip out because these women start discussing a case involving a child. And it is fairly important to possibly know that Joe is the name of the officer who wrote the report up in my case.
Joe says that on the answer statement, the mother's living in both houses, that she probably won't even be here.
That's his, what is that,
That's that lady.
his niece?
And of course, the main reason for us putting this clip in this video is to show Mr. Larry Foreman, practicing attorney, also known as DUI Guy, that apparently he's not always right.
They don't have cameras in the conference rooms.
They don't have cameras in the conference rooms.
I think he's gonna cancel court. He's gonna cancel court. Nothing works.
Oh, well, yeah, the computer's not working right.
I sure hope he likes crow.
Transformer.
That works for me.
That matters, man.
Is he really thinking about it?
We'll see all the files, what they're.
That girl didn't get his name on it.
Should not go over there.
Claim on the down, we just need to redo the order for the detention. She's
Rest
on
of
the
it.
detention.
I have no other pressing issues there.
I just need to talk to him about a case or two.
So we have to do that. I've got one that's not even here. Mario, see that? He's not even here.
Somebody I don't even recognize. For sure. Yes.
Judge wants to talk to you about Stephen's job.
Okay.
They blew a transformer here at the courthouse, so we're gonna be shut down for hours. We're just trying to we cleaned up what we
You know
can.
what I'm saying?
He blew a transformer, he said, going to be shut down for hours. And that they're running on the
I'll just
backup
send you the
generator.
video and you tell me what you make
Okay.
of it.
No, please. I'm very
yeah,
interested.
So because I received 4 discs from Meade County in my request. I received 4 discs.
4 discs. Okay.
And what's been published all over the internet is only on 2 of those 4 discs. And then there should be a whole nother court case, according to the Meade County clerk, that she did not have. She said she didn't have the ability to get the court recording of the 3rd trial.
Did you say why?
She didn't. No, they never tell me why. That's part of the problem.
I'm just asking. Like,
Yeah, no,
you
they
never know.
no.
Like our equipment
That's one of the
broke. I mean,
problems.
there was one time I had I'll tell you this real quick, this anecdote. I had a trial and I asked the court reporter, or not the court reporter, we don't have court reporters. I asked the clerk to rewind the tape because I had a cop basically literally in the middle of my trial contradicting his own previous testimony, literally direct examination, cross-examination, redirect examination. And he is 100% lying. Like I got him in a perjury, 100%. And I was like, I got him. I nailed him and asked him the question. And he's like, no, I didn't say that. I'm like, yes, you did. Like I have the notes here. He's like, no, I didn't say that. I said, yes, you did. He said, no, I didn't say that. I said, okay, one moment. And I went to the clerk and I said, do you mind rewinding the tape? And she had to pause the recording on it's called the JAVS. I forget what the acronym is, but it's like the Judicial Audio Video Surveillance. I think I literally just fucking said it. Jesus. Sometimes brain amazes me. JAVS, the Judicial Audio Video Surveillance. Anyway, or system. And in that case, long story short, we played it to the jury and the jury acquitted my client because they're like, this guy's a lying sack of shit, you know, and my client walked away free. So, okay, so you're saying there's another tape that they're not giving you, and now this tape is also wrong because there's another tape from behind closed doors that contradicts this right here. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying this tape's wrong. I'm not saying this tape's wrong.
So this is correct. How many days did you get? Chris says 1, you say, you know, 21, 22-year-old Chris says, I got 1 day, and attorney says he got 1. So this is correct.
Yeah. So can I tell you what the other video is that people are not publishing that I do have? Okay. And I'll send it to you to show you. The judge gets angry with me and I'm wearing those clothes right there. The judge gets angry with me and says something about not having, I didn't have a key. I think I said something about I didn't have a key to my house. And one of the sheriff's deputies was going to go to my house with me so I could get some clothes so that I could leave. And because this was I caught her cheating on me and it wasn't good. So we were parting ways. Okay. That's what the case is over.
Christopher Ryder.
How much of a bond do you want?
Okay. They'll interview him and then they change it. You're Christopher Ryder. And you live 35 Chester Lane, Brandenburg. And date of birth October the 2nd of 77. Charged with assault in the 4th degree. How do you wish to plead on the charges?
Can I ask what will happen if I plead guilty today?
I really don't know.
Well, I'm not guilty to the charges that you see there. I'm guilty to part of what you see, but it's
Judge, they have a domestic violence hearing next Wednesday.
on the 14th. I've signed that. I'll also put an appeal out.
Okay.
You see that note?
And I wanted to also say, you had given me I can't. You said that I could go home and get my stuff with the sheriff. The sheriff took me over there. She's changed the locks. I don't have any clothes. I mean, I've just been trying to live it as it goes, and it's really rough right now without being able to go to my house.
I understand. And I don't know what happened, but according to her, you held a gun to her head in the argument.
That's false.
So I can see why she changed the locks.
It's a false. That's false.
Okay.
It's false.
Okay. Again, he said that he put a gun to her head, and he totally denied it, completely denied it. It is false. And he said to the judge that you said I could go back with somebody and get my stuff. Now, again, this is on 4/7/99.
I wish I had time to explain to you exactly how it goes.
We'll just enter not guilty plea. I'll set it for a pretrial conference for 1 o'clock next week, the 14th. That's the same thing. We got a domestic violence hearing anyway.
Exactly. Unheard from me.
And you're on bond. No contact communication with her. Stay 500 feet away from her. No alcohol. No public offense. And we need to also add no weapons. Okay.
No, I don't have any weapons, sir.
Again, no weapons. I don't have any weapons. All right. Freddie says, I agree 100%, Mo, but I believe that Larry, being attorney, that he knows, I believe that he should have talked to Chris about what he's going to ask and inform him not to say anything else about it. Well, and the other case, but Larry seemed to be fishing about the other stuff. And you're right. Chris and him did talk before about what they were going to discuss on this panel. And that's the normal way you do it. If you're going to go on a panel with someone and have a discussion, then before days ahead of time, you correspond between each other through emails or through phone calls or whatever, and you discuss what you're going to talk about and questions and things. And they had actually planned to discuss how how Kiser and Ray White, JJ, and all have been conspiring against Chris. But Larry got off on a tangent onto this other case and started going down this road and down this rabbit hole. And he used Dummy Kruger, which should be Dumbass Kruger, his information and his narrative to go by. And then he pulled up the court documents and was going down them. but the court documents didn't show this this moment right here where the judge is fixing to throw the book at him for $2,500 bond and arrest him, because this information was not in there. They cherry picked out what they wanted to fit their narrative. So that's but they did talk ahead of time, and they did in fact Chris sent Larry Foreman a bunch of videos about Kiser, and in the interview that night, Larry admitted that he never opened them and looked at them, that he wanted to get all the information fresh. So now I do think that Larry got confused with what was going on, and based on the way the narrative was spun, he was convinced that Chris was lying and making all of this up, because he was trying to say that this was the drug case, the joint case, when it wasn't. This was all to do with the assault case. So he should have, if he wanted to go down this route, then he should have done his own research instead of taking the narrative of someone who was trying to paint Chris in a bad picture to start with. You know, and he might as well have just listened to Kiser, you know, and took Kiser's narrative as he would have Kruger's. It would have been just as stupid. So, but you're right. They definitely, you know, anytime they should talk ahead of time. You're 100% right.
Is there any way that someone could try to attempt to go to my house with me again so I can get some clothes anyway? Phone numbers, things like that. I don't have anything, because I mean, that's my house. You know?
Well, you know, usually when we have a domestic violence and when the police remove them and say don't go back, and they're chomping at the bit to go back, I really want to put them in the jail until the meantime, because you don't have an absolute right to go back.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, since
I understand that, but between the bond and now and the domestic violence, you've been told no about 4 times. Now, is there any part of no we don't understand, or I need to let you have a seat over here? You're really making me nervous that you're going to walk out of the courtroom and go back anyway.
No,
because
sir,
because you want to stand on your rights.
No, sir, I won't. And I mean, I was allowed to go back. It was that she had changed the locks, and at that time I couldn't get my stuff.
I don't remember allowing you to go back. I thought we told someone to go for you. If you went back, you need to have a seat. Have a seat over here. We need $2,500 cash bond, no contact. Have a seat. Because I don't think I told you could go back. I told you to send somebody to get the clothes. You went to the door. You have a seat. We said no several times. Have a seat.
I didn't leave the jail until the whole case was concluded.
Couldn't be more of an honest guy. I couldn't be more wide open with my life, and I couldn't be more exposed of a person that allows myself to be exposed. So to be honest with you, though, all of this was advised against me doing, and that's not what this video was supposed to be about. So I'm okay with it, though, Larry. Like, I'm okay with doing it because I'm honest.
For sure. I mean,
But
this is, I'm telling you, this is courtroom footage. I mean, granted, it's been edited a little bit.
Yeah, I
and yes,
understand.
it is, but let's I want to finish this one real quick. I just want to finish this one, and then let's get back to you. The beginning of this interview, remember, you said there's a lot of stuff that is active, and I will never push you in a direction that you don't want to go. So please stop me. If at any point I'm asking you a question that you're like, Larry, I don't want to talk about this, that's okay.
Well, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place because, you know, of course, active litigation I shouldn't be talking about, right?
Right.
And at the same time, I have a duty to the people that are subscribed to my channel, people that have supported us all along, and people that we love and have kind of created family with, who we've been sharing in like a video vlog our entire life. And I'm very, very, very transparent. You know, if I'm learning something brand new one day and I'm videoing, you're going to see me learn it. It's just, I'm very, very open in my life with this channel. So I kind of feel like there's some pressure for me to tell everything that is available right here in his head.
Okay. Then let's stop
heart.
right here. This is the last piece that I wanna play.
Yeah, no, because I'm interested too, and I'm learning. I would prefer to learn about stuff that's happening in an open court case behind closed doors.
All right. Freddie says, I agree. Them courtrooms have several doors that look just like the wall. Reason why is because if someone was to get violent, the judge is immediately escorted out of the courtroom. And yeah, that's what I think that room was. You can see, like I said, the steps right there. Now, we're fixing to get into the marijuana case. Larry's going to start down that rabbit hole. And, you know, Chris is saying that, you know, he's completely transparent and he tries to tell everybody, you know, the whole story, which he does. And when he does that, though, that's when people start picking it apart. And in an effort to try to cover everything, just like, for example, the orange jumpsuit. You know, he knew that he had been in jail and that he came straight from the jail to there. So he assumed that he was probably going to be in an orange jumpsuit. And just like the whole phony or imposter story about the marijuana case, more than once, Chris has said that he doesn't really believe that that is the case. But in an effort to try and give every possible explanation, he said that just as a narrative, as to, you know, that this could have happened. And okay, there is a possibility. It's not a probability, but it is a possibility. But it's highly unlikely. But again, all the trolls take their little portion of it, run with what they want to run with, and make the whole big deal out of it for more clicks and views about, you know, oh, he said it was an imposter, and he said this, and he said that. When, in fact, he was just given options. So let's go ahead and see what else we got here. We're almost at the end.
But at the same time, you know, hey man, if something new's coming out of this and it's something, I mean,
I'm just curious because this is a lot. This is a lot, and we're both learning in real time. So let's watch this final piece right here. This is the prosecutor's argument I think either at the end of the hearing or sometime in the middle of the hearing about the opposing counsel's arguments.
On September 14th, 1998, the defendant was arraigned, and the case was continued for a pretrial conference on September 23rd, 1998. On September 23rd, 1998, the defendant appeared with a private attorney, DJ Holycross, and entered a plea of guilty to the possession of marijuana. The defendant signed the terms and conditions of probation in the court file. On October 8th, 1998, court is heard. The defendant met with CAPS and signed paperwork at CAPS on that separate date. On November 12th, 1998, the defendant's court costs were paid in full.
Both of his witnesses admitted that they had never seen me before in their lives. However, they still tried to incriminate me both of them. The prosecutor summarized his entire case. He had absolutely nothing, but he is saying that he has duplicate signatures from two separate cases. One from the fake case that they're presenting here in Hardin County, and then the other is a case from Meade County, Kentucky, a year and a half later than what they're alleging this case was actually in 1999. Now, that case really was me, but the prosecutor is going to twist up some of the details to try to make me look bad, and it kind of worked, because there's a lot of people out there who believe that I committed a domestic violence when actually the charges were for an assault.
The two Meade County cases, a side-by-side comparison made by copying the various signatures, Your Honor.
You wish to submit this into the record?
I would submit as exhibit.
Any objections, Mr. Clay?
Or two, sorry.
Yes, sir. I don't think they're specifically identified. Those signatures have been specifically identified. I understand there are a couple of signatures that are on the documents that have been tendered, but there are other signatures on that document that have not been identified.
I think the court, all those are already in the record. That's simply a.
I will know what's in the record. You may continue.
Your Honor, I don't have any other witnesses or exhibits to present other than, again, it's not an exhibit, it's in the court file, but the terms and conditions of probation. And so no other witnesses or exhibits.
So noted. Mr. Clay?
Your Honor, I'd move the court to deny the motion to revoke at this point on alternate grounds. First of all, they haven't proved the identity of the defendant, and that's a rather fundamental step in the criminal prosecution. They have to identify beyond any doubt the defendant's the person identified in the motion to revoke. There is supposedly a record from Hardin County regarding his arrest or citation or presentation to the court on this marijuana charge. And there's no picture, there's no fingerprints, there's no way to identify that the individual listed on those documents is the individual sitting over here at this table. There's also nothing to indicate that he did not at some point in the past 25 years complete the program, that CAPS program, which was a condition of his probation. So given this lack of proof, I move the court to deny the motion to revoke at this time.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Of course. You may.
Your Honor, if I could just kind of do a little level setting and make sure we're on the same place facts-wise with that original case, Judge. On August 22nd, 1998, defendant was charged with possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and he was cited to appear in court on September 13th, 1998, which was a Sunday.
Let's stop here and take that in for a minute. Why in the hell would a police officer cite someone to show up to court on a Sunday?
Damn good
The file
question.
will show that the clerk sent out a notice on October 27th, 1998, for the defendant to appear on September 14th, 1998.
Okay, did anyone catch that? On October 27th, the clerk sent a notice to a person to appear 1 month earlier on September 14th.
Bear with me, Marty. All your questions will be answered. Roll tape. Okay. I will proceed.
Doc, is that a divorce?
Never mind that now. Never mind that now. Right now.
Is it normal for the clerks to tell someone to appear in court last month?
Clerk sent
That's a damn good question. And unless you got a DeLorean, ain't much way of making that happen. But here we go. Now, this is where we're going to get into the point where I've said all along that the pen is mightier than the sword. You see, the dates say that he was scheduled to go to court on a Sunday. Then the clerk sent out paperwork for someone to appear a month back. So that makes a hell of a lot of sense. I'm telling you, this shit was pencil whipped.
Sent out a notice on October 27th, 1998, for the defendant to appear on September 14th, 1998.
You're about to hear whenever I get on the stand that they never had a valid address because the stupid officer was using a completely fake address on the entire citation in the first place. Anything that had ever been sent at all to that address would have never reached any human being at all. So what the prosecutor is about to allege next makes no sense. He's getting ready to say that someone showed up for court based on something being mailed that could have never reached anybody and that they were arraigned. Just listen.
On September 14th, 1998, the defendant was arraigned, and the case was continued for a pretrial conference on September 23rd, 1998. On September 23rd, 1998, the defendant appeared with a private attorney, B.J. Holycross.
And I know there's probably some pretty crappy attorneys out there, but what attorney would have their client plead guilty to one single marijuana cigarette in the kitchen cabinet of somebody else's house based on a case that has a fake address? All the facts are wrong. The name is misspelled. This doesn't make sense either. And not only have I never heard of anyone named B.J. Holycross, but I also have been researching trying to find a B.J. Holycross anywhere in the area of Radcliffe, Kentucky, and I cannot locate one at all.
And entered a plea of guilty to the possession of marijuana. The defendant signed the terms and conditions of probation in the court file. On October 8, 1998, court is heard, the defendant met with CAPS and signed paperwork at CAPS on that separate date. On November 12, 1998, the defendant's court costs were paid in full. August 16, 1999, the court heard our office's motion to revoke probation for not complying. Notice had been sent to 35 Chester Lane.
Now, this may be the only thing out of the prosecutor's mouth that halfway makes any sort of sense, because I did move to 35 Chester Lane in February-ish of 1999 from the state of Indiana, but had moved out and was long gone by April. So the prosecutor's saying that they sent something to an address that I actually did live at, but not until August. So nobody would have received that either. The funny thing is that I happen to have been carrying a very old ID in my wallet from 1999 at the day I was arrested at Post 4. You got to wonder, did the cops get into my wallet and see that old address and add it to these fake-ass records?
Brandenburg, Kentucky. An address which the defendant acknowledges in one of his motions to dismiss was the address on his driver's license. So that was an accurate address for him at some point, and that's where notice was sent, not to this Morgan Street address that they claim is bogus.
And right here, either the prosecutor is playing dumb or he is dumb, because we're all holding the exact same records, and in all of my file, it's showing that only one service was ever sent to 35 Chester Lane, and all of the other were returned by the sheriff's department because nobody responded and nobody was there because the address didn't exist. And how could anyone have ever showed up to court in the first place, like the prosecutor is alleging? Because they were sending notices for going to court to an address that didn't exist.
And then the court revoked his probation because he did not appear, issued a bench warrant. January 3rd, 2023, he was served with that bench warrant. And Judge, he apparently claims that an imposter was the one charged in that case. And that just does not make sense. And why not? Why does that not make sense?
what we saw in that portion, now Dummy Kruger might have saw something else, but what we saw was, for one of those dates was a Sunday. There is no court on Sunday. So that somebody was told to go to court on Sunday. What was the other thing that was really weird about that other date? There was two of those dates that you meant. The other one went backwards in time. He cut up what he wanted to hear and how he wanted it to be narrated into or navigated by other people. It's perfectly fine for him to take all of my content and perceive his own personal opinion of all of it, but it was not okay for him to cut bits and pieces out of videos and be unfair about how the timeline actually functioned. So he wanted a narrative. He wanted to produce something that seemed to be in a timeline that make perfect sense.
So
But
people that are saying in the chat right now that Dummy Kruger exposed you, this is completely incorrect.
Yeah, of course that's what people are saying, and we ignore that kind of nonsense because everybody's allowed their opinion. This is America.
Fair enough.
You know,
I'm
and you're more than welcome to believe what you want to believe. But if you really want to see the timeline and what was actually being said, that's on my channel. We want to address that there are public officials who are utilizing YouTube, okay, to harass us.
How?
And not just that, but they are conspiring on YouTube for the whole world to see fictitious charges against me. I am in real life suffering serious damages because I'm suffering YouTube harassment. And the people who are doing it are supposed to be professional government officials. And it's not okay for professional government elected officials and chiefs of sheriff departments to be using a YouTube channel to literally conspire. Fictitious
You think this
charges.
is a conspiracy to do
I
what?
am telling you that it will absolutely fit US 242. And not only that, but they spent hours and hours and hours discussing how they were going to have me hurt by the inmates if I went to JJ's jail. And I think that's a much bigger story than this little measly marijuana case, misdemeanor from 1998. And that is what I thought we were going to discuss. And that's the information I sent you.
Well, no, that's fine. Because look, I am all about the truth and the facts, Chris. I thought I had the facts. I guess it doesn't matter.
The bottom line is, guys, if you don't believe in the government manipulating records, then apparently you've never dealt with the legal system in the state of Kentucky. And I certainly hope that this video helps clear things up for some people. Until next time, guys, we love you. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, then. So, Mr. Larry started in there at the end saying that he didn't get all the facts. But now we see all the facts, and we know that, as I said, Chris has been telling the whole story from the beginning. He's been telling the truth, but he hasn't been able to show it all because of the different court cases. But he's always promised that he was going to bring it all out if everybody just be patient. But people couldn't be patient. They had to take the opportunity while they could to get their clicks and views and spin the narrative the way they wanted it to go. So, and as a result of that, they have created problems for him in the court. And I've said from the beginning, when he went out to post 4 at the police headquarters, state police headquarters, to file a complaint, he took a copy of the charge that he was trying to bring up on and gave it to the cop, and the cop said he wanted to go look it up. Well, he stepped away to go look it up, and 45 minutes or so later, he comes back, and they've come up with this arrest warrant from 25 years ago. Now, then whenever Chris went to Meade County to get the copies of the records that he needed to show judge in Hardin County, is when we had the entire fiasco involving Ray Whited. Now, we all know that they did not do anything wrong. Anybody that was watching that video knows they didn't do anything wrong. They were not disorderly. They were polite. They were thoughtful. Tiffany was being thoughtful when she stepped out of the room. But Ray wanted to get his feelings all hurt and prove that he was the big man. So he arrested him. And all these times that we hear Kiser and everybody calling Chris a low down, sorry ass woman beater, when you need to be looking at Ray White with those comments, because he handcuffs Chris and was shaking when he did it, scared. And after he does that, then he gets real physical with Tiffany, a little woman, half his size. He goes to slamming her against the wall, jerks out his taser, throws it up against her, and we see all that. Anybody that watched the video saw it. Even if you didn't have to watch Chris's original, you can go and look at the video from the cameras in the corner of the room and see it there. That the big man had to go start throwing a woman around. You know, he probably does that at home, so he gets away with it there too. Yeah, so if anybody is the wife beater or woman beater, it needs to be looking at Ray White instead of Chris. But after he made the comment too that he was going to hold the cameras and hold evidence until after they went to see the judge, then that's when everybody had to start spinning the narrative and putting it all on Chris, that he was perjuring on the stands, that he was lying about everything. He's making all this up in order to take their attention away from Ray and what he done. You know, it's a real big case of smoke and mirrors. But now the truth is out. We've all seen it. I hope Mr. Larry Foreman takes a look at this. And I believe he definitely owes Chris an apology. And Dummy Kruger owes one his damn self. You know, he needs to take a week and produce a rebuttal video on what he had to say. That wraps it up for about everything I've got to say on this. If you would, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any content. Whenever there may be a surprise video like tonight. Normally, you'll find us every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, where we'll discuss the events of the week. So, take care of everyone, each other. God bless you. This is Sarge.